welcome to RnBCrypto. Once again, I am joined by Breevie and our wonderful guest this week, Defi Jedi. It's looking pretty bleak out there. U.S. CPI inflation printed on 8.6% year over year this past week. Markets are tumbling. People are panicking. There's blood and fire in the streets.
Breevie is laughing.
Breevie's laughing in his enlightenment chamber, and we are joined by Defi Jedi to get his take on some of the stuff. So, with that being said, how's everyone doing?
I will let's let DeFi go first.
Yeah.
What's got going on in your world?
I want to hear what Breevie says because I know that I'm wrecked upon wrecked upon wrecked.
I mean, you know how it goes for me, bro. I got wrecked by Luna. However many weeks ago that was, or months now at this point. And I have nothing, so I have no skin in the game to even get wrecked further. So I feel great.
I was in this. I'm feeling you, man. Like I had a little bit of extra over in ETH, a little bit extra, over in a couple different places, and when UST depegged and started, that little downtrend, gigantic downtrend.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we gotta be good lunatics and we gotta go, arbitrage. So I pulled like $9,000 out of ETH and out of my other stuff and threw like another $9,000 at not UST but at Luna as it was falling, trying to help. It was a shit show. I should have, and then So I went down the hole and lost my UST and threw another $9,000, $10,000 at it and ruined some of my other chances of, saving my ass. So I got triple wrecked, liquidated my some of my reserves for UST. I believed the hype when Doe was saying, and we've got an answer, keep strong, lunatics, buy that dip, and I threw more in and watched, it was one thing to watch your original investment, just go to shit. But then when you throw like another fresh, something at it, just thinking, I'll throw some more and then watch that just go away. You're like, ouch,
shit.
that hurts.
And then probably like you're probably in like the mindset as it's going down of like you said, buying the dip, right? Like in your mind, you're probably thinking like this is the opportunity of a lifetime, right? Because like I was last year, the main market crash.
Yeah,
we came back from that, but dude, like this was another beast just because it was an organized attack. It wasn't just market pressure, and like I don't know, like I don't even like to know what to even take away from this specific situation, dude, because I mean I guess the main thing to take away from it in my case is to actually diversify.
yes And don't de-diversify to throw more at your
exactly. To throw more at your losing investment.
It balls of fire, man. It was that was my real undoing. The other fact was like, I had some UST like, sitting in Anchor, and I had some, I had stuff locked up in Pylon, and I had stuff locked up in Astroport, and I had stuff in other, little projects, like maybe you have like 10,000, I was thinking like, of the smaller D apps and stuff, and you're thinking those probably will be okay. And I couldn't get shit out quick enough to liquidate. So it was just totally belittling. And then now watching this second crash, this whatever's happening right now, like I think ETH dropped like another 10 or 11% overnight. Checked all my charts.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm still okay because I still have, a whole bunch of really good NFTs and I can sell some of those. Well, something that was 1 ETH a few months ago is maybe half an ETH, and that half an ETH is only worth $900 now. What the hell,
Yeah, that's
yeah. it's a
It's a
different
really
world.
hard time, man. It's a really hard time. I think specifically in this time, it's when it's best to remember that these things are gonna bounce back. Like I know it's really hard to think about that as things are like dumping and as there's all this gloom and doom. Is everything going to zero? That's probably most people's minds. But if we think about it, man, 2008, similar situation, everything doom and gloom. And then we bounce back, like never before seen, right? So just
Yeah.
hold on strong, young Padawan.
This is right.
Oh my god. Um, yeah, it's ugly out there for sure. And I'm looking at projects like, for example, we look at Terra, we look at what's happening with Luna right now with Luna V2. Um, I mean, Do Kwon and some of the stuff he said that night when the peg was crashing. I mean, that's currently being looked at by the SEC. I honestly, I don't think Luna V2. I'm gonna come out with a pretty maybe controversial take. I don't know if it's gonna survive. Um, and
Really?
yeah, I don't know if it's gonna survive
That's
because
tough.
I think one of the big things that like I personally did when I got into that investment is I got so cavalier. I'm like, we're acting outside of like government regulations. Like they can't stop us. Yada yada yada. And someone clearly wanted to stop us. and so and so after that happened, right after that happened, now we've just opened Pandora's box for
Yeah.
U.S. regulators, especially. I mean, Do Kwon might face charges here in the U.S. or he's going to I mean, he's currently under some sort of passive investigation, and I
Mhm.
wouldn't be surprised if they indict him on something. So like I just see Terra and Luna being so closely tied to him as an individual, and I think there was a real like when they were trying to think of a new chain, I was like, please do not brand it Terra Luna. Like call it like Phoenix Chain or something. Call it anything else
That's what I
because
thought. I thought they were gonna
yeah,
call it feed.
I think it would have been a smart marketing play. I think it would have been genius to just
Mhm.
disassociate yourselves and move on and try to build something community inspired. Like I don't want to see the community fail. I was a part of the community. I built the community, but I just
Yeah.
see too much headwind. I mean, it's why Luna's down from $11 to $2 in a week.
Mhm.
It's just too much headwind. Too much is still yet to come out. And so I just
You
don't
have
know how Luna V2 will survive a bear market, and considering the liquidity crunch going on in like global markets right now. It's bad. It's ugly out there.
Mhm. So here's my take on Luna V2. So technically this is a lot of folks, if we look at ADA right now, like look at its valuation, it is all based on it being a community owned chain. Where like the right, it's
Kind
completely
of.
right. Isn't it a fully
Yeah.
community owned chain?
Sure.
Um, yeah,
I mean,
and that's it.
Hoskinson's very influential. It's just
I
you
mean,
can't.
yeah,
But like
Hutchinson, obviously
regardless,
there's going to be like, I mean, obviously Hutchinson is going to be very influential in that. Um, but now we're in, and what I'm saying is that we're in a similar kind of situation to where now Luna V2 is a community owned chain, right? Because TFL doesn't have any stake in this game anymore. It was just distributed out to everyone who owned Luna,
hmm.
right? Ah, so hold on. What's up, Rick?
I mean, they got rid of the TFL wallets, but like
Yeah,
the big players still have big stake. Like Terra might be dead, but the developers still have like, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think there's really smart people who are involved with Terra. Like
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think Do Kwon was ever acting. I mean, I don't think he was acting maliciously. He could have been.
No.
I don't know. I want to see like a full investigation come out in that sense, but
Mm.
um, yeah, I really see a tough one for this to survive, like the regulatory crackdown impending.
So if it's a developer-owned chain, and we have all of these like amazing developers on the chain, I think that there is a possibility that we could see it actually skyrocket. After obviously not right now. Obviously not right now. This is gonna be a while.
Anything's
Um,
possible. Anything's possible for
yeah,
me.
exactly. I mean, because like if you think about it, it has it has all these different projects that are building on it. And it's developer owned, community owned. So like it's really kind of up to the community, us kind of to push it forward in a way because they've kind of handed the keys off to us. Um, so I'm trying not to go into doom and gloom mindset right now. I will be buying this dip. That's obviously, oh shit, we didn't get a disclaimer. Not financial advice, anybody. God, please look at my name. do not take this as advice.
I don't think they can see it right now, actually, but it's Breevie. What is it, Breevie on Zoom right now?
Breevie got wrecked,
Oh,
baby.
nice. But DeFi Jedi, I want to know actually, 'cause I'm really curious because I'm not personally involved with a lot of NFT communities. I'm only in a couple, and I'm still like relatively active. Like, how are they holding up? Like, what is the how are people reacting? Are they still in high spirits? Are they depressed? Are they selling their NFTs? Like, what's going on? And what do you think is going to happen with NFTs for the next 6 months, given the bear market conditions?
Yeah, this is this is going to be interesting because we've seen a lot of the NFT communities from Luna just wrap up and throw in the towel, right? They're like, we're done. We can't do anything. We've seen some communities come out of it and move chains, which is in itself a battle because you have to earn a whole new, I don't want to say respect and but market share in a chain where you're bringing people that had been wrecked.
It's not a full rebrand, but you do kind of like have to like show that your brand is worth it on that chain specifically.
Yeah. And so I'm seeing a lot of, I've been following a lot of them, helping a lot of them, trying to advise them, like, don't do that. And when I say don't do that, it's usually they have some pretty crazy ideas, and like, but most of them, I would say, we're gonna see the true, like, the badass communities that were actually building for the community and not for their own pockets. The guys at best interest who were doing stuff the right way. I think they'll come out of this okay. I think we'll see some of the folks that are going to shake out of it and be like, I give up or don't care anymore. But some of them have built a big enough following, and some of them have cross-chained enough that we'll see some good success. Like, I see some communities that have moved to ETH, like, Stone Ducks is an example, but they have been, their founder, TMNT, has been in ETH in projects, cross-promoting and helping build in ETH. So he had a little bit more of a warm welcome than some of the other communities. People that were 100% lunatic, and that didn't have those ties are going to have a stronger road to go. And we're seeing that with like, Space Apes, I'll use for an example. The Space Apes we had in a salon in Luna, we had a 1,100 whitelist, and people were dying to get more. And they were set. They had a mint date. They were going to mint on the Cousins platform. They moved from BART. They got Random Earth to do it. They had every single launch pad begging them to launch. They were ready to conquer. I saw a 5 to 10 floor after launch. Everything was there. And then the founder, Khalid, he went on his holiday, and the day he left, the UST depegged. And then he, while he was on vacation, he got his job got redundant, so they laid his ass off. So he came back, and he went through defeat after defeat after defeat. And the community had asked, hey, let's move to Solana. It's something we're familiar with. It's an easy one. You don't have to do much. At first, they were going to move to Solana. And I went back and talked to the team for a while and brought in a couple advisors. A couple of us were looking at different communities. We've been watching Stargaze. We've been watching some of the stuff on Juno. We've been watching a couple of things like teams moving to Algo. And Space Apes, they were asking questions, and I was showing them some of the data that we had been collecting from Stargaze, and it really looked like the small core community, a large number of really passionate lunatics had moved to the Stargaze community because it felt comfortable, small, similar, like a small, more community-based, where their message could be heard, where they're not just background noise in a bigger, huge Solana, where there's too many frauds, gatekeepers, too much manipulation. Like there's different things going on out there in these projects. So like seeing them struggle to find their way, it's not going to be anything as glorious as what we had going on Luna, but I think that we'll see some of these survive. But all these other projects that were mediocre, we're just going to see they're obliterated. There's no comeback. There's nothing, And so, like, I still have 700 or 800 Luna NFTs that are probably worthless. I might have some that are worth something, but I could sell a couple for like 300, 400,000 Luna C, or whatever, maybe 1 million Luna C, and get $20-$30 out of what was 1,000 or 10 or 20 Luna when it was $100, like $1,000, $2,000 NFT. So I think a lot of people are discouraged and are taking their time before they come back and even invest in the ones they believed in. Like I've seen a lot of guys go to Algo. Some people are talking about going to I saw somebody in Algo. People are begging us to come to ADA, like, hey, bring your stuff to ADA. And I'm like, as much as I'm not a huge ADA fan. Like they have their huge following, and I just look at the market cap and I look at the potential to grow that market cap, and I don't see it happening. So I'm more hesitant.
I'm right there with you, dude.
Right?
It's super overvalued. Like
yeah.
Breevie hates Cardano.
I just don't fucking get it, bro. At one point it was $90 billion fucking valuation. It's nothing.
Like they were powering the future of education in like what country was it?
Did they have some shit going on in Africa? I don't know what's
happening. Yeah, they did.
I don't know what's making this thing worth $90 billion, bro. I don't understand.
In it for the tech.
Right? Like
I think Lehman Brothers when it crashed was worth like $70 billion or some shit. I'm like, this thing has the evaluation of Lehman Brothers.
So did Terra. I mean,
So here's the thing with Luna back then, though, right? Like back then, Luna had a lot of shit going on. So like, I mean, even though the valuation is astronomical, I think we peaked somewhere around like 50-60 billion dollar market cap or some shit like that. I think we peaked somewhere around there. But we had like so much shit going on, bro. We had fucking a whole payment network in Korea, as well as we're building a payment network in the USA. We already fucking had the sponsorship with the Nationals going on. We were able to use UST there. Like,
were you?
Yeah, that was a part of the. I mean, I don't know if it had launched, but I know that was a part of the contract.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, it's very, very high valuation, but we have like a lot of shit going on. For me, like the whole ADA shit, like Rick, you've seen it. I've poked the ADA hornet nest many a times.
Take a baseball bat to like a raging wasp's nest.
And last poke, like people were coming at me, and then someone was like, "Here's they sent me an ecosystem map." He was like, "Here, look at all the dexes we have." I'm like, dude, if you don't fucking get these dexes and stick them up your ass, dude.
Dude, no, 88. And what you said about Luna, right? That's why, like we were. I don't want to say like anarchists, but like we were operating in what we thought was an untouchable space outside of the government. But the problem was is that as soon as they made the mistake of showing our cards and letting them know that we had set up some stupid shit with the way we did our Bitcoin backing. And at the time, I thought it was brilliant. I thought, oh, this is brilliant. I didn't see the master plan behind it when somebody said, hey, all we have to do is just, put this together and we can take out Luna. And I'm not I love conspiracy theories because I believe that there's a lot more going on behind the scenes of the government that they control in this space than what we see. They're not, there's a lot of stupid fucking people in the government, from the very, very top to the very, very bottom. But also some very well paid, very, very, very smart people who are, not on the books. We may not, know exactly what they're doing. Like, that's the thing. Like, and this whole thing this is a humble Jedi opinion, is that I believe it was orchestrated from BlackRock and the U.S. government to enable the U.S. government to get an opening to where we could show, our power and that we're here to save the people, right? And we can get regulation and put this, Doe flashed his hand and said "fuck you" to the SEC.
Yeah.
And he literally, yeah.
And they didn't take kindly to it. So, they said, you know what? You're not as big as you think you are, Doe. You're not as smart as you think you are. You're not decentralized anymore. We can take you down. Why? Because not only did you guys show your cards, you put a backing in Bitcoin that we can manipulate. We manipulate it when we want to let in somebody else. There's things that are happening there that we can't control. And, I think that was part of the unraveling of UST, is it was a bigger play than what, we may think. I don't know if it was just one financial institution who decided that they want to make a quick $1 billion, or if it was indeed the U.S. government, in tandem with some of your power players in the financial world, right? They were threatened. We were fucking with the banking system. We were screwing with their control, and they didn't like it, So they could come in and do it again, and until they get what they want, which is regulation, all of these altcoins and anything that's not in their control is a target, in my opinion. And with that, like, I still believe that we need to support networks like Terra or Secret. Secret's one that I'm really heavy, excited to do more with and learn more. I've known about them, but I didn't believe they were going to be necessary. The more that I see what we're up against, the more I think Secret could, this is not financial advice. This is just a Stone Jedi rambling about his, the nuance of the mind. I think that we're going to see more opportunity for something of that line to really come along and be powerful. Now, if the network is strong and as powerful and as smooth as Luna was, like, that was the one other key factor that Luna had that nobody else had, man. Our uptime was phenomenal. Transaction time, phenomenal. Phenomenal. The D-apps, like, everything about it was the best ecosystem in period. It was better than anything. But the fact that Kwon, and like, I blame a lot of this on Kwon. I really do. Like, I personally don't think that he was making wise decisions, and there's more that's going to come to light, between Kwon and stuff like that. Like, so what it is going to do, though, is, like, we have to have mistakes like this, right? We have to have big fuck ups that change how we think and how we move forward. And that's what it's challenging the best of our team, the best of our community, the best of our builders to do, as well as other chains, like Secret. What are they going to do to make sure that they don't get fucked up? What are we going to see with other guys? So in essence, I think it had to happen. And probably better when it did than later, because if it was later, it could have been so much worse. Like, you know, so with that, Terra 2 could become, because of, you know, I don't want to say, I think if Do Kwon steps back out of that, you know, main role, he has to be removed. It has to go to a true community. Fuck TFL. You know, I can't speak to who I am talking to in the background. Like, I'm working with some very, very way more powerful people than me and way smarter than me. But, you know, like, I would call them like a Terra guidance community. There's, you know, some of the biggest guys that were involved with it. They're in a group, and they're aware of all of the legal proceedings and all of the shit that's going up and down, and trying to ensure that there is a potential for Terra 2 to move forward in a true community fashion without the influence of a antagonizing, you know, cocky, arrogant. He was fun,
very entertaining.
I loved getting on a call with him and listening to him talk shit. Like,
yeah,
I mean, he was a very, very much so a, you know, I want to say,
I always kind of compared him to like Elon Musk in a way.
Yeah,
Cowboy,
yeah, 100%.
Cowboy-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like kind of like more of like a wild card, you know.
Yeah. But if we have this Terra 2 that performs at the level of our original, you know, Luna Terra, and we have the D-apps that are still coming back to build, we have the potential, you know, and I don't see how it couldn't outperform Solana or any of those, right? Because it is a better performing blockchain, is a better performing community and network. Now, they have to make some more changes though, right? That's where I see it. So until those changes are made, I'm just going to short that shit until I get it down to
You sound just gonna short that shit.
Yeah.
There's one point.
And then I'll ride it back up to the top, you know, because I think in a year or two to see it back up in that 50 to 100 range, like, again, not advice, is totally possible. I mean, you saw Solana. What was Solana's peak? Like 240, 250, something like that.
Absurd.
Yeah.
Right. And it's an inferior blockchain. It's not as good.
Yeah.
So that's my one proactive or pro Jedi feeling. But now, like, I made a statement. I said, like, this is just me expressing my opinion. I put out a little thing, and it pissed off a lot of people. They're like, Jedi doesn't like Luna anymore. He hates it. He left. He's gone. And I'm like, guys, no, I'm here supporting every single lunatic and every single investor or buyer of an NFT, because I have a hand in guilt of bringing people to the ecosystem. I brought so many people from Ethereum and Binance and Solana. I was like, guys, quit fucking around on the inferior chains, get to Luna, learn about it. And I made lunatics out of a lot of people. So I feel personally, or, you know, Jedi responsible for wrecking them, even though, like, you know, they don't blame me. I haven't had a single horrible DM. Like, I've had, you know, a lot of the I'm wrecked, you know, I feel really bad. And, you know, I console them. I say, hey, let me, you know, I don't have much, but let me hook you up with a couple of projects I'm working with in Solana or Ethereum or whatever, and try and carry my community with me. And, but I don't feel that Luna 2 right now is, I don't want to have anything to do with it until Do Kwon's out. And I said that publicly, and a lot of people shamed me for it. They didn't like it, but I don't.
Real quick, DeFi, I just gotta, like, for one thing, you should not feel bad about ushering in folks into Luna, man. You should understand, like, where your heart was, right? Like, you got a heart of gold, like. So, like, when Luna got wrecked and, like, I lost everything, dude, like, I you know, I went to therapy for it, talked to the therapist, and, like, one of the things he said, because I felt the same way as you, bro, where I'm like, man, like, I got all these people into Luna, and, like, they lost everything too, and, like, I just feel horrible about it. And then, you got to realize, bro, that you had a heart of gold in the sense that you wanted to bring people in to a situation where you felt that their lives could change for the better, right?
Yeah.
And you have to focus on that. You have to pat yourself on the back for that, dude, because you have like a complete heart of gold. That's the reason why no one's blaming you for anything, because at the end of the day, they know that they know where your heart lies. Like no one was blaming me either, because they
Yeah.
understood that like, I was in a position where like I had, I invested in Luna 88 cents, bro. So like,
Yeah.
it changed my life literally, in a blink of an eye, just a year, it changed my life completely. And so you try to bring on all these people because you feel like it could change their lives for the better in the same way. And, so just wanted to interrupt you real quick, let you know, man,
Oh,
like, don't feel bad, bro. Like you could not, there's no way in hell that we could have ever predicted this.
No.
Right?
No.
Like
no.
And if
No.
somebody did, I want to see their crystal ball. But DeFi,
Exactly.
I agree with a lot of what you said, and I want to go back to the point you made with when Do Kwon countersued the SEC. I remember I was sitting in like the bus that day, and I read that headline, and I legitimately was like, thumb on the trigger, ready to sell my entire stack of Luna. Like I'm serious, because I was like, this is declaration of war on the U.S. government,
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
are
yeah,
minnows. Like we are $60 billion. Meanwhile, they control, the entire. I mean, the global monetary system is based on the U.S. dollar. So
yeah,
like,
exactly.
I think a very unwise move to start acting cavalier around regulators. I don't think regulators necessarily your friends, but no, they're not. I mean, they're not your friends. Like you gotta
No,
pick. But you
yeah,
gotta figure out like who's with you, who's not, and how you can work with around that. But looking at something like Terra and seeing it just collapse and fall apart in that nature, and then seeing actions, the really cavalier statements by someone like Do Kwon, who like to pick on big fish in TradFi, or make these like ridiculous counter trades and bets for millions of dollars, and it's like it's
Jesus.
eventually going to catch up eventually. And
yeah,
yeah, and you're right. Terra is a great blockchain in the sense, great UI, easy to use, very like newbie friendly,
yeah,
much simpler than a lot of the other like non-Ethereum layer one blockchains. But yeah, it'll ultimately come down to what is the community going to offer going forward.
yeah,
And then also I agree, like I don't want to see Do Kwon's going to be just wrapped up in who knows what in terms of legal procedures, either in the U.S.,
mm,
Singapore, or Korea. Uh,
mm,
People are going to be
Yeah.
looking at everywhere. Like TFL is going to be wrapped up in everything, and so how you can move on from that and rebrand. I think ultimately though, and it's kind of against the ethos of decentralization, but you need someone, especially in these early days, to really
mm,
take some kind of charge and help bring that like decentralized aspect, so you can then grow and move on.
yeah.
So you need someone. You need someone who's not necessarily like in charge, but I think the community would really do well if somebody kind of comes out of this whole thing who can guide people a little bit and help move the project forward, so it can then reach a better place, and bring it back to the infrastructure that it used to have.
So the
Yeah.
crazy thing is, we still have. See, look at me saying we. I have not lost my lunatic mindset whatsoever. Uh,
Uh,
um, dude, and that's kind of the other thing too. Is like I'm still trying to find my place in this crypto world now, because this like Luna was my home. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
like absolutely where this the community and the projects in and of themselves just like made me feel home there. And so like now I'm like struggling to figure out like where is my place in this crypto world, now that decentralized money isn't a thing. um, but yeah, beyond that, what I was going to say is we have this infrastructure. A lot of the infrastructure that we thoroughly loved and enjoyed is still there, ready to go
Yeah.
on Luna version 2, right? Terra Swap ready to go. We got a bunch of new NFT marketplaces that are about to launch on Luna version 2, ready to go. So like we're looking good. We got Astroport, I think just launched, if I'm
Phoenix
not
swap.
mistaken.
New
Yeah, the
DEX.
swap.
Yeah, Phoenix swap. The new
Oh,
DEX.
is it?
Yeah, it's live.
See,
I
now
haven't
if this
seen-
is ADA, we'd be worth 90 billion. We just needed a DEX. That's really all you need.
We
I
have a
love it.
DEX. One. We got one.
Um,
Dude, I
um,
have 188. I have like 188 or 288 coins. That's it. And it was
Yeah.
because I bought some shit coin on
Mm.
Binance where they rewarded you in ADA. So I have like an ADA Binance wrapped coin sitting in my trust wallet. That's the
Hey, BitBoy said that could go to $100 in 2021. So
look how that went.
look how much sense that makes.
How does that what would that have to be?
No,
Like,
you
how
can't
is that-
question it. You don't question it. All right,
Can't question
$100. It's got to
It's
believe.
like the LUNC maxis. You're just like,
Right.
it's
Burn.
LUNC to $1. You're like, no, absolutely no way it's gonna ever hit $1.
So
I will say one thing on the LUNC side.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's say this. So there is a reason to invest in LUNC, because
Is there?
there's a DEX that's coming out, and they're gonna use a portion of their transaction fees to burn LUNC.
That's so fun. I really I find it so funny, like the LUNC DAO, the people who are embracing just how stupid it is to burn this thing and just take it all in.
What's
It's
it for? It burns.
It
That's what
burns.
it's for.
We're gonna burn it all.
burning the- I don't get this. I'm so confused, man. Like, why are you doing this? Like, are they real people or are these just bots that are saying they're doing it? Like,
Dude, here's the thing, man. Like, is this gonna be the next Dogecoin?
I mean, it's a humble man, Asparagoid, just like, I mean, he's one of the founders of LUNC DAO. So if you guys aren't familiar with him,
Oh,
basically-
I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
well, he's like a different person every week. So
He said he was Fat Man, actually.
Oh no, he's not Fat Man.
I don't think he's Fat
I mean,
Man.
he could be. I mean, honestly, knowing him, he is like he's like a multiple personality Twitter disorder. He's a new person every week.
What
And
I
he's
really
always-
want to know is, where is Jimmy?
Where is Jimmy? DeFi, have you seen Jimmy?
I miss Jimmy. I haven't been going to a lot of spaces, but like the spaces I have been going to, I haven't seen any Jimmys.
That's sad.
I'm worried.
You- into mine, and he would just be like sending me DMs, and be like, "Hey, don't come in here. Don't come into this." And then I would join, and he'd be like, "Why are you here?" You know, give me shit. I love him. He's so fucking crazy. He's always like, "I said no humans." I'm like, "I'm not a human. I'm a Jedi." He's like, "All right, you can stay."
I enjoy Jimmy. Like it's
He was crazy. He's
yeah,
crazy.
he's crazy.
nuts.
He would say some good things from time to
Oh,
time though. But he was definitely a wild card.
Oh yeah.
There was one final space of Jimmy's. It was like 2 days after the crash, and I hopped in. I'm like, you know, I want to know what he's actually saying. It was just him speaking too. No one else was speaking, and he was going on this rant about how he was in Afghanistan, and how people would like sit around the campfire and tell each other stories. And I'm like, first off, I don't believe you that this is a thing. You're saying like crypto Twitter people just need to start doing more of this and living less on Twitter and sitting around the campfire telling stories to their youth. And I'm like, is this inspirational or is this advice? Why? It was just himself. No one else was speaking with him. He was just ranting, and like 200 people were listening. It was the funniest thing.
More people need to have bonfires.
Yeah, that burn. I mean, just burn.
Burn.
Burn more LUNC.
Dude, that's what LUNC is for, dude. You burn it.
We can all tell stories.
Don't you
around the campfire.
understand?
Oh man. Oh,
So DeFi. So what's going on with Stone Ducks, man? Because I do have a couple of them, but I feel like I missed something and now they're worthless. Is that true or?
Did you get free OG Mint for the Ethereum relaunch? You got in and got those ones, right?
No, I did not. So I'm fucked.
Yeah. I was spamming it out as much as I could because I knew I had a lot of Stone Ducks peeps in there. They ran a 48-hour window for any original Stone Deck holders that you would be your wallet was snapshotted and you were able to go in and mint for free first like 2 days, 48 hours. Then they did whitelist, and I think they're now on public.
Okay.
I don't know if they have any recourse for anybody that may have missed the mint for the free ones. Because I just picked up with with Ian he was with Luna Launcher, one of my buddies, and he was like, "Hey, dude, fucking nice duck," because I just pulled I like 40. I'm up to 42 now. I got the Willie Nelson duck, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" So he Willie Nelson duck, and he's like, "When did they mint?" I'm like, "They're minting now, bro." He's like, "Did we get a free mint for OG?" So like, yeah, there's still quite a few people, not a lot because we counted out. OG had X number. There were only about I think 150 or so that didn't come back to mint. So those could have been either people that like yourself that missed. Didn't care to mint it because you still have to pay the ETH gas fee, which is they got a good contract. So I minted a total of 42 over 3-day period, and I think I spent like I want to say $40, like $40, maybe $45. So less, like a couple bucks per duck to mint. So yeah.
Wait, really? That was it? That's not bad.
That's the Willie Nelson duck. I fucking
Willie Nelson duck.
I love duck.
Dude, these Stone Ducks are fire, bro.
Yeah, dude. They're doing some stuff right now. So the top right one there, I think he's got a chain on. He's got the skeleton chain on that one, I think. So that will be part of the like iced out bull collection. So they'll have a sub community for that.
So they already got sub community forming and everything.
Yeah, and they're doing decent. They're up to they're over half. They've gone over like 2,700 minted. So they might mint out 5,000 on Ethereum. And
I was just about to ask, what's the max supply?
So what they did is I think it's a total of 5,000 ducks on ETH, and they've already got live staking. So it's passive staking. So you can stake and still trade, sell, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And the staking rewards are paid off the floor value. But if you own a certain amount of ducks, the floor value gets enhanced by a 4.2 or 42%. Like if you own 10 ducks, I think you get like a 42% or a 420% boost on your staking. So like if you buy 10 or 20 ducks and you stake, you're going to be getting a shit ton of staking.
Where does the yield from like staking NFTs come from?
So two things. Have the SDLC coin, which will be launched here. I don't have the dates and information on the coin, but you'll have the SDLC coin, which will be redeemable for, I'm not sure yet if you'll be able to redeem it for just merchandise and other stuff, but they're going to be able to redeem it for other NFTs and other stuff like that.
So you can't like bring it back to fiat?
That's the thing, because they have to be careful how they do it so that get labeled
as a security.
Yeah, correct.
Right,
like we're not security. So they're trying to, I think they have a plan, and we were talking about how that would work, and it would be like instead of doing that, what we might do is we might go buy rare NFTs and other NFTs. Like they already own a couple of land deeds in the
BAYC.
board. Yeah. They've got ones there that are worth, I don't know how much, 12, 20 grand, whatever now. And they've got a treasury. So they actually were, they moved most of there you go, dude. Check out my boy.
Post Malone.
Yeah.
It's that Post Malone duck.
Yeah.
Post Malone duck. This is fire.
Okay. I wanted Post Malone or Willie Nelson so bad. Like they made me a Jedi duck a while back, and I was flashing that Jedi, and I loved it. They gave it to me, and they're like, Jedi, we want to present you with a 1-on-1 Jedi duck. I'll have to show you guys if you haven't seen it. It's just dope. It's a kick-ass Jedi, but
Mighty Duck.
Yes.
Mighty Duck. That's cool. I like that one. That's a cool throwback.
This brought me back to my childhood. Sorry.
Yeah, mint the Mighty Duck, you win a PS5, and if you mint the other one, the Post Malone, you get a. So like, there's some incentives as well. They took their treasury out of UST, and they were instantly in diversifying it with their cryptocurrency because Turtle, the founder, a little bit of a whale over in ETH. Like he owns a bunch of apocalyptic apes. He owns a ton of. He probably owns like 100 zombie zebras and like a bunch of Zuki apes. Like he's well off in ETH. I brought him over to Luna because he's like he didn't actually want to launch a project at first. He wanted to learn about Luna, so I brought him in. He was a member of the Jedi Council, and him and I would get in like late night conversations about the NFTs that were being produced, and we had been talking about like what we wanted to see. This was 9 months ago, and his name is TMNT or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I always call him my turtle dumpling. I was like, listen, we need to bring a true stoner NFT to Luna, and I want to see some fucking fire art, none of this garbage, and I want to see. And we talked about everything, and he's like, dude, we should do it. And I'm like, bro, I'm not launching an NFT. I've got too much going on, and we floored it. We talked about it. We had demos made of an NFT that I had talked about making, and like 3 weeks later, I get a message in my DM, and it's not Turtle, it's somebody else. Like, yo, bro, did you see these stone ducks? And I was, who the fuck took my, like, they pulled this idea out of my head talking about it, like from and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So I'm like, I gotta get in on this, because it's like, this is my dream. Somebody pulled my dream out of my head and made this a thing. And months go by, and I'm collaborating with them. Like I started talking to him and talking to the owner of Stone Ducks, and I didn't know who it was. They hadn't doxed themselves to me. I was talking to a couple different guys, their community and stuff, and they gave me the Jedi. And finally, he made a mistake, and he was gonna dox anyways. But I knew exactly who it was as soon as he did it. Like he posted something from his Turtle account, and he was in a space, and I heard him talking. And he was talking on his Stone Duck account.
Yikes.
And I was like, so I sent him a little message, and I'm like, hey, Turtle, do you know the owner of Stone Ducks? I heard that, he's a pretty cool dude and might be, somebody we know. And he's like, nope, it is, don't know who it is. And we were just giving him shit for a couple of days. And he's like, so tell me, when did you actually know? And I was like, I guess the very first time I saw it, I was like, could that be him? But he denied it, like jokingly. Like, I mean, he denied it, but
why do you think he denied? Why did he deny it? Was it just a?
Probably didn't want to dox.
He didn't want to dox it first because his name guy, right?
Oh, okay. So I didn't know he was. Okay.
He was, because came from ETH, and he didn't want people to be like, "Oh, you're just here for that." He came Luna with me, and he'd only been in Luna for a few months, and when he finally got all the legal stuff figured out and got the ownership settled, then he could finally dox, because he is a nurse practitioner in a emergency room, and he works like 16-hour days and stuff. He needed to be not the face of the project. He needed to be the founder, but not the face. So I think that's why he was holding off. And eventually it was really cool. He came on and he did a big public announcement and announced that he was the owner. And, he's like, guys, I wanted to let you guys all know, I just kept it a little under wraps because we were working on the business and this, that. And it made sense. I understood what he was doing. And it actually, I think, helped the project grow, because he didn't have the stigma of being an Ethereum guy coming to Luna. So I think, but in essence, him being an Ethereum guy saved the project, because he had reserves in ETH, he had reserves in Luna, and he had reserves in, and he was watching the market closer than I was. And he saw the writing on the wall. So he had already exited the treasury money for Stone Ducks, from my understanding, and was diversifying it. And that's how he ended up with some of the land from the Bored Apes. He ended up with some apocalyptic apes and like some other stuff. So the treasury is stacked, and there's still other money in there. So all in all, like, my dream of launching I couldn't do it, and I wanted somebody to do it. I couldn't have picked anybody better, because he's one dude I would literally trust with my fucking seed phrase. Like, I worked that closely with him. We've worked on helping other projects, and had floated money back and forth, where you're talking 5-10 grand between, not even worrying about it, because you trust that person so much. Like, I knew he had business reasons, and when it finally came through, I was so fucking excited, because he has brought together a couple of extra people that have helped him build the brand, and like musicians and artists, like, they've got their own soundtracks, they've got their own Stone Duck radio station that is dope as fuck. It's kind of like, how when you turn on like what is it, that chill radio, like, music,
like some lo-fi type shit.
Yeah, like lo-fi hip hop, like shit. They've got their launching Stone Duck lo-fi hip hop that's dope. Nice.
Don't forget, I'm a producer, dog.
Yeah, I know. Like, dogs, yeah, right. They were playing it down at the they got asked to play their music down at the Austin convention, like, so play that lo-fi in the background and shit. So there's so many different pieces working, that if somebody else had gone into it and taken this project on, I don't think it would have gone as far as it has, or will go as far as it can go, because his connections to so many different projects. And I've actually known him a lot longer than I realized. Like, him and I were in shitcoins and Binance 2 years ago, like, we were doing we were in some of the shittiest of shit coins together, and we got rugged together, and he usually would find me other shit that was actually decent. Like, I have to tell you, like, one of the projects that he helped, I don't know if I can dox him to say that he helped it, but it was one that he was like part of. Have you ever heard of the guy, Uncle Scrooge, or Scrooge, the influencer?
Is it like Scrooge McDuck or something? I mean, like, I know Scrooge McDuck, but like, he's got a decent following. He's built himself he's made millions in really good calls and NFTs and nodes and cryptocurrencies. And I met TMNT through the good old Uncle, because Uncle and I had been chatting, and Uncle would blow me off. Uncle Scrooge would blow me off. He's like, you just keep pitching me his fucking rugs. And I'm like, bro, it's not a rug. I did my, like, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
And then Sean pitched me one, and I pitched it to Scrooge, and Scrooge goes, "Yeah, I'm in." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, I actually got a good one." And so we threw some money in it, and we all did really well, and it was hilarious because it was Green Dildo Inu.
Green Dildo Inu.
Yeah. And it was on the chats. Everybody just said, "We want to see giant green dildos." So memes were flying everywhere of green dildos and green charts and green dildo charts. And I think because I bought in on the pre-sale or whatever, I got airdropped like 4 or 5 green dildos. The tokens were a valuation of like started at like $1, and they were just like a gift, like of bullshit. And I bought like. No, so they're like $10 because I bought like $500 and I ended up getting like an extra 5 or whatever it was, and they 10x overnight. The shit just blew up because people love it. And I was like, okay, fucking A, Scrooge and Turtle, how the fuck did you guys know that this was decent? Like what? And he's like, dude, it was a pure DJ play. It was all for the shits and grins. He's like, if you thought it was going to go to 10 million and you stayed, you're a fucking idiot. But if you got in and made your 10 and got out, you're brilliant. And I'm like, so, but what told you? And they started to teach me stuff, right? They started to show me a little more in depth of what to look for. And let's
dive deeper into that. Like, what do you look for in a shit coin?
Wait, so this was just a coin. This is a token. This was not an NFT project.
Oh, this was just a token project.
So
couple years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Green Dildo Inu.
Yes.
Oh my god, we're going to 0.
There was a Will Smith Inu too.
Of course.
Like
Will Smith, Chris Rock slap Inu.
Yeah. Like you know, what do they say? Buy it or mint it for the culture, you know, like you know, like just do it for the dildo, or
do it for the dildo.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I did some memes. I threw out a couple memes that I thought were fucking hilarious, and I won another like 100 dildos, and I ended up making like $5,000 overnight on dildos. And I was like, I'm the king of dildos. I'm gonna follow these guys' lead. So like, I started aping into every single thing that Scrooge or Turtle talked about, and I was always a little bit slower than them, so I'd always get in the second day and they'd get in day one, and I kept missing out on the big ones, and so I had to start looking at like what they were doing, and like, fuck, Scrooge would go into the project, and he's an ass. Like he just doesn't care. He's just a dick. He just says whatever the fuck.
Sounds like a guy we need to have on the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, low key.
We need to get him on the pod. He is fucking hilarious. Like, and he is just a freak. I love it. He's an oil guy down in Texas here, right? He's out pumping oil in the fields, and he's still pumping oil and pumping crypto. Like he's like, I make 10 times what I make out in the field in crypto. He goes, but I'm still, $50,000 every 3 months out here pumping oil, and that allows me to buy more crypto. So yeah, I'm gonna keep pumping it. And I'm like, dog, you've made it. You're like, you paid for your, I know you took care of your dad and your mom. You did good shit, right? You took care of some of your friends. Like, you're doing the right shit. Like, I'm still digging. He's like, I like hard work. I sweat my ass off. I wash my face with the same washcloth I wash my ass with. I'm that kind of guy, like.
Yes.
He's just that dirty stuff, And
that just threw me for a loop there.
I love it. He's just a freak, but
man, stop.
He'll go into the Telegram or the Discord. He'll go right to the developer and the team, and he'll analyze the contract. He'll look at the team. He'll look at what they've got. And he'll say, look, you guys are building a piece of shit. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. And then they'll say, why not? And he'll say, well, I would do this, this, and this. and they'll listen to him, and then he'll be like, all right, I'll throw in 10 BNB, whatever. And as soon as he says that, they listen, they make the couple of changes, and that fucker's mooned. So what I was seeing was the opportunity to see a shit coin that had potential, that was doing something wrong, that wasn't going to allow them to move on. And I would kind of go in, make friends with a few people, and be like, may I ask a few questions, and then when they couldn't answer them, make a few suggestions, use the Jedi Force to compel them to do something different. And then I'd be like, yeah, I'm in. And now what? I'll share with my people too. So, between him, myself, Turtle, and a few others, we found, at least once a month or once every few weeks, we found a good one we could get in, pump for a 5, 10, 20x, not long term, maybe a month or two at the longest, and get out. I learned, like, hey, you can make money doing this, but I learned that I was way more appreciated and respected by people, instead of doing that, by actually sticking around and helping the community not go under, helping them learn, and teaching these developers and these people, like, some of the do's and don'ts, like, why are you paying that guy $5,000 to do a call for you? You guys are wasting your community's money. Why did you just $10,000 on PooCoin ads when you're not ready for it, right? Like, some of the things that a Binance coin need are different than other ones, right? And sometimes it's just easy to see it. I can see it a lot easier in a Binance coin. Luna coins, I had to learn a whole different ecosystem and a whole different thing. Like, I in Binance, I know how to scope out rugs. I knew how to scope out, like, people with ulterior motives, and that allowed me to make better investments and have more fun, and also meet better communities and better people, because I would find legitimate people who were trying to actually make something. And the hopes was, and this is why I still believe in the meme coin and the shit coins, is because who has a larger market cap than Luna or some of these other, like, I won't use Luna, we'll go with, like, tier 1 or other big coins. Like, we've got meme coins like Shiba Inu and Dogecoin that have market caps that have destroyed true investment blockchains. I was in baby Dogecoin, I was in mini Doge at launch. Like, I bought in pre-sale, but because I was so used to everything being a potential rug, and I couldn't get the developers to answer a straight question. They're like, just shut up and trust us, you dumb shit. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, don't insult the Jedi. I will take you down. And I will rain the dark force upon you. And like, when baby Dogecoin launched, the developers were assholes, and they didn't know what they were doing. They fucked up their, I saw it on their contract. They fucked up. They had a sliding gas. I don't know exactly how to spell it out, but it's a piece of code where the gas was made to, and the way on Binance, your gas is usually a nickel or less, like pennies, right?
Sure.
The gas, because they had made it so that they would, under extreme pressure, it would naturally up the gas to try and force transactions, because they were expecting really big returns, right? And they did it wrong. And I'm like, guys, you fucked up the gas. And they're like, no, we're fine. And what happened was on launch day, the gas went to almost a BNB, a half a BNB, to be able to sell or buy. Like, you could buy, but you couldn't. But eventually, it was essentially turning into a honeypot where you couldn't sell unless you paid $400 in gas.
Oh,
that's crazy.
And so I was like, I got open on their voice chat on their Telegram. They finally let me speak, and I called them out, and I said, you guys need to fix your gas. it's in this code. And they're like, no, it's not. It's fine. It's working fine. I'm like, fucker, will you just go on and try and sell a coin right now? Just go sell one fucking maybe Doge. And he's like, I don't know who you think you are, but you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. And they shut me off. And then he did it and he couldn't sell. He's like, so they shut down the live video feed. And then I paid the BNB to sell my coins and get out. Cause I'm like, I'll pay it rather than get in a honeypot, and which I fucked up on because I had essentially what would probably have been a few $100,000 in baby Doge the way that, because it 300 or 400x,
wow.
Like
this is a world of unknown to
dude,
me.
Rick, there's a whole nother, there's a meme coin world out there that we just don't even know about.
Dude, baby Dogecoin went ballistic. Like I'll have to go back and get you their top market cap, but I know it's over 100, couple 100 million. And when we launched, it was, I think the market cap launched at like just over 1 million or 1.5 million, and they instantly just exploded.
This is kind of why I do plan on putting a small amount of money into Luna Classic. This is why.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if they can do it right and get it right.
Rick's laughing.
I mean, it's like you're right, Breevie. It's so irrational, and the market is so irrational in crypto. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna do that, but like, if it works, like, it's a huge upside.
Yeah,
who knows?
The upside potential is pretty crazy. Because
erase one of those zeros, you never know what happens.
Especially with LUNC, dude. Because like talking to thank you DeFi, because dude, talking to you, you've opened up this meme coin world where there's people who are just like actually seeing, because like I never saw them as legitimate investment opportunities ever.
Yeah.
Like I understood some go up, I understood it, but like I never saw it as like a legitimate thing to do. But like now that you're talking, I'm like, you gotta throw something into Luna Classic now, because it has this huge community fucking growing of people who are just dead set on pumping.
If they did a meme, they should have made it a meme token. They should have gone out and said, I actually had I proposed somebody to make a meme coin for kind of off of Lunacy or the LUNC, and we're still talking about like doing it, and it'll be fun if it happens. But for example, if you go to CoinMarketCap and you go look at your top 50 market cap coins in cryptocurrency, one of the top 20 is a meme coin. Shiba Inu has a market cap of $5.1 billion. Okay. Shiba Inu launched at $1 million market cap.
Yeah.
You bought in at $1 million market cap a year ago, and there's people that have cashed out for, insane amounts, and you can go down further down the list and you're going to start to see in those, that 500 to $1 billion range where other, meme coins have made that. And the reason why is because Dogecoin proved the way, right? Dogecoin proved that you can have the power of Wall Street, or then the financial advisors that we all, have come to follow. And, what's the worst case? You throw a few $100 in a meme coin, maybe $500 at launch.
Yeah.
And it maybe at 50 or 100 X's, maybe it dies. But like, I was making way more money having fun in meme coins than I was anywhere else. And when I first came to Luna, like people were like, "Who the fuck is this guy? And why is he always talking about Bitcoin?" Like fuck, I had like Dogelon Mars, like that's like 2 years old. It's still got $190 million market cap, right? You're talking about these are small in the bigger picture of things, but like all of these I tweeted about and I told people to buy at launch and said, hey, get in because this has potential. I like what I see. And if people were smarter than me and didn't pull out because they were chicken shits and they had diamond hands, they would be doing very, very well. And I know some have. I've had some people said, like, dude, I made like so much money. Like, I made 25 grand off that last shit coin you told me to do. And like charity coins and some of that stuff. Like people buy into it, you know, and do it. Like it's crazy. And I saw like Terra Classic as a potential to be a meme coin. Like, why don't we make fun of it? Why don't we turn it into a meme and like, you know, goof with it? Like, right? Like,
right.
It's in meme level prices. It's, you know, sub 0.000, you know, 1 cent.
Yeah. What do you have to lose
at
that point?
Yeah, you like throw $100 in and say, hey, let's start making some about it. Like, right, like let's get Kwon hanging from a stable coin, holding some TC sacks that are saying, you know, stuff. Just have fun, right? Like goof around with, and then get the power of the people behind you. And that's what some of these people are trying to do, is to try and get a movement, right, to do it. And I don't say it's a wise decision myself right now, because I think there's people that have bought in at that very, very bottom for a large amount and are playing that, you know, where they potentially could just do a 2 or 3x and make a lot of money. You know, there's a whole nother world, and it's tightened up a lot since it was before. And now that the bear market is kind of upon us, it's one place where there's still like gains to be made. Believe it or not, like you'll see people, you know, launching shit coins that are going to go, you know, 50x, and, you know, you can have fun, but there's more rugs than riches. You know, like I've probably been rugged at least 500 times in these shit coins, so many times, you know. So I may have made, you know, 500,000 or $1 million in shit coins over the last few years, but I probably lost 500,000 in shit coins too, because I've been rugged and all that stuff. But it's gambling, it's fun, and it's the meme ability. If the meme takes off, you go to the moon, you know. Like,
don't let your memes just stay dreams.
Yes.
I didn't execute that. I did not get that. Is that right?
I love this pod.
Don't let your memes just stay dreams.
That's right. Yes.
We have reached the hour 10 mark. I just want to start wrapping things down a little bit. I just want to get everyone's final thoughts, things that they're thinking about, wrapping up the conversation.
All right. DeFi, you start off, and then me and Rick will go ahead and end it.
Yeah, guys, I appreciate the chance to come on and have a great time speaking with you guys. I can't wait to get invited back again. I hope that we get to do another chat soon, and the communities that we're all tied into and we have passion about, like the people that hear this podcast and listen to what we talk about, are going to be able to take away not only some information and some knowledge, but hopefully get what the reason why I'm here is the people, you know, like and meeting people like you guys, and getting a chance to not just laugh and have fun, but also share insights that, you know, some people might find crazy and totally preposterous, but you know, it's having fun, never risking more money than you can afford to lose, right? And that's why I do what I do. And I'm an ape. I mint the shit out of stuff and ape into coins, and if I lose it, I lose it. If I win it, I win it, and I have fun, and I meet fucking fantastic people, and I'm grateful for that. So like, thank you guys, and thank you all the community that listens in to us and support the podcast. I'll share it out and tweet the shit out of this baby. Excited.
Hey, that's love. Also, we gotta get a Twitter Spaces going at DeFi.
I know.
We have
For
to.
shizzle.
Yeah, for shizzle.
Yes. Yes.
Real quick, man. Can you just let folks know where they can follow you at on social media and blow out that smoke right there?
That's right. Take a nice little rip of Purple Urkel. Get on to Twitter and follow me on the DeFi Jedi, and join my Discord, the Jedi Council. So discord.gg/the Jedi Council. We're doing tons of giveaways and tons of whitelist giveaways. That's one of the other purposes of what I do is I connect with all of these projects and they give me NFTs and whitelist, and my responsibility as the Jedi is to pass that along to the Jedi fam and hook you guys up. So like anytime I find a new project that I love, if you're following me on Twitter, you'll see me doing giveaways for it. So it's a chance to get some free NFTs, maybe some free coins, and some stupid Jedi-isms, because I love talking in Jedi. I do that, and I do it all the time now. People are my like, the Force is strong with this one. I'm like, yes, it is. This is the way, And I just a stone Jedi all the time. So appreciate you guys letting me share my my socials.
Nah, dude, we appreciate you for popping onto the pod, man. Sharing a bunch of knowledge, sharing some good vibes, man. For sure, gonna have to have you on again. For sure, gonna get some Twitter Spaces going. Rick, you got anything for us, my friend?
No, once again, thank you, DeFi Jedi, for joining us. I appreciate all your insights and some of the stuff you shared. I've been in a few Telegram groups for really like shit coins, and I've always been fascinated by them. I might have to go dive back in and see what's up these days. But no, everyone out there, stay safe, be smart. You know what's going on. What do you got, Breevie?
I'm about to become a LUNC maxi.
No comments.
Look to the moon. That's all I got.
I love it.
For anybody watching the show, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for watching the pod. This has been R&bCrypto. Make sure you follow us on our social media at R, N as in Nancy, R&B. Yes, R, N as in Nancy, B as in boy, crypto. I can spell, guys. I swear.
There you go.
Yes, appreciate y'all so much. Appreciate you, DeFi. Appreciate you, Rick. This has been the pod. Peace.
Sweet. Thanks, everyone.